The circle of fifths is a wonderful tool to understand music. And for guitarists, it's a very easy thing to construct if we just look at the problem a little bit more internally to the guitar and internally to music itself. For instance, the circle of fifths is just all the notes in a chromatic scale. And so for C, that's all the notes in our chromatic scale. We develop a major scale from that by doing sort of a skip and note removal routine, and a basic C major scale is going to sound like this. We've all done that 1,000 times. But there's a neat trick to understanding the circle of fifths. If we use what I call the nearest neighbor scale, I'm sure there's a proper name for it, but I did a video on it some time ago. It's a really neat way of thinking about the major scale. I start on C and I proceed forward. So I do root, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I repeat the fifth above where the root was, 6, 7, and then back to the root. And so this neat way of doing it lets us see instantly something very important. And that's that we have the root, right below it is the fourth, right above it is a fifth. Now it's an octave below where we normally look for it, but it's a fifth. And that's what we're going to use to construct our circle of fifths. So we start with the root, and we go to the fifth, but we're going to go to the lower value of the fifth. In this case, a G note above the C. And now we're into a root chord position. We can come to the D as the next fifth up from G, and then the pattern just repeats. And we're back again to C. That's how we're making our circle of fifths. What's so cool about this is that it really shows us something important, an important relationship, and that is that we have our first, fourth, and fifth stacked right on top of each other when we're in standard tuning. And we know that we can have a root, or the root chord, a C. We can easily go to a fourth, and we can have our G chord above that as our fifth. You say, wait a minute, what did I just do with that fourth? This kind of strange looking chord? Yeah, it's not the full F chord. In fact, our full F chord would be back here, but it sounds enough like it, and it just lets us continue with our demonstration of a C, an F, and a G. Well, the 1, 4, 5 that we're showing here is integral to almost all the Western music. You can find that in almost every song, this idea of a root, a fourth, and a fifth. And so this becomes a very powerful tool, and if you look at our circle of fifths chart, you see that we have at the very top a C, to the left we have the F, to the right we have the G. And this is our first real bit of insight into the power of the circle of fifths. It's always giving us the fourth and the fifth for any note we decide we want to start from, no matter what key it's actually in. And that is a very powerful tool for our circle of fifths.